We know that you never fail to give what we are going to ask for in prayer. All of this, we are very grateful to you. Thank you for this work gathering and our endeavors for this activity. We pray that you will always provide us with great wisdom and insights as we go on with our daily life works and activities. We open our hearts to you now and invite your Holy Spirit to be present among us. Do not let the weapons of the enemy prosper against us. Instead, cover us with your presence. Forgive us all our trespasses in Jesus' mighty name, and Blessed Mary, Holy Mother. Amen. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Okay, thank you. Please introduce the members of the BAC and determine if there is quorum.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. This morning, we will have the pre-bid conference for EPA Batch 1. Before we start, let us acknowledge the presence of the Bids and Awards Committee, our chairperson and presider for this activity, Engineer Cherry Nazareno, with the Vice Chairperson, Engineer Glenn Dairit, together with the BAC members, Architect Tito Gamosa, Engineer Warlito Lindio, and Engineer Stephanie Membreve. We are now in quorum, Mr. Chair.
With the presence of the Bids and Awards Committee, this meeting is called to order. Okay, please also acknowledge the presence of everybody in here, including observers.
Also, we acknowledge the OIC Head, Procurement Unit, Engineer Grace Joy Racho, the BAC Secretariat members and staff, the Technical Working Group members headed by Mr. Jesse Laboca. For our observer, we invited a resident auditor, Attorney John Dave Macatol. Likewise, we send invitation through email to Mr. Andres B. Bisaya Jr., Regional Coordinator and Observer from Crimes and Corruption Watch International Incorporated, and copy furnished to Mr. Carlo Batalla, the Chairman, President of Crimes and Corruption Watch, and to Engineer Michael Salarda, President of Davao del Norte Constructors Association. For the online viewers, including participating bidders or watching us right now via live streaming on our YouTube channel, DPWH Davao del Norte, DEO Procurement LS. Once again, good day and good morning. Thank you and stay with us.
Okay, again, good morning and welcome to our procurement activity today, which is the pre-bid conference for civil works under the invitation to bid 2025-001, in which there are 5 projects. Number 1, the 25LC0014, La Filipina Road-Sitio, San Isidro Road, Fuerza Road, Road-Baca, Corella Road connecting Tagum City, Diversion Road to shared service facilities, Cacao Industries and Coconut Industries, Tagum City, Davao del Norte, with an ABC of 900,800,000 pesos. And number 2, the 25LC0015, Kapalong Luna Elementary School, Kapalong Sampao Road, Kapalong Mamacao Road, connecting Tagum Panabo Circumferential Road and Banana Industries and Rubber Industries, Kapalong, Davao del Norte, with an ABC of 9,800,000 pesos. And number 3, 25LC0019, NRG Surigao Davao Coastal Road to Hijo Cadastral, connecting Tagum City Overland Transport Terminal in support of business processing, outsourcing, coconut farm, and renewable energy industries, Tagum City, Davao del Norte, with an ABC of 9,800,000 pesos. Sorry, 800,000 pesos. And number 4, the 25LC0020, Capungagan-Mabuhay-Pandulian leading to coconut Cacao Mechanical Drier, Rice Packing House, Kapalong, Davao del Norte, with an ABC of 9,800,000. And number 5, the 25LC0022, construction of road Barangay Bingkungan to Barangay Kanokotan, Tagum City, Davao del Norte, with an ABC of 57,900,000 pesos. And we have our agenda for today. Number 1 is the brief presentation, explanation by the BAC or from the planning section. And number 2 is the question, comments from bidders and replies of BAC and other representatives of procuring entity, other matters, and the summary of proceedings, including supplemental and bid bulletins to be issued. So now we will start the agenda number 1. Okay, proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone, and for all to those viewers watching on live stream. For the contract ID number 25LC00414, with the contract name of La Filipina Road-Sitio, San Isidro Road-Nueva, Fuerza, Road-Baca, New Corella Road, connecting Tagum City, Diversion Road, to shared service facilities, Cacao Industries and Coconut Industries, Tagum City, Davao del Norte, with a brief description of construction of concrete road. Approved budget for the contract is 9,800,000. Source of fund under FY 2025 NEP CP, with a contract duration of 95 calendar days. The net length of this project is 514 linear meter. Total width of road is 6.7. Shoulder width 1.5 meters, with a thickness of pavement is 280 millimeter. Next po, sir. The scope of works for this project is, once again, road concreting of 514 linear meter. Construction of lateral earth canal, application of prepared thermoplastic pavement markings, removal of trees, installation of chevron and road signages, and gravel transition ramp. This is the location of our project. So the blue line was our previous project. So the yellow line under our CY 2025 proposed project po. Next po, sir. So the beginning of the project is at station 2 plus 558, and end of the project is at station 3 plus 072. So this is the cross-section of this project. Once again, the total width of the road is 6.7, with a shoulder width of 1.5, both sides. Cross-section at normal crown fill section po. Next, sir. So, cross-section with siya lateral line canal. Next. Cross-section with super elevation cut and fill. Next po, sir. Next na po, sir. So this is our geotag photos. So dito po siya tayo mag-start, beginning of our project. Then next po, sir. Next po, sir. So somewhere here, mag-end po ating project po. Any queries?
Pre-proc na ni concern. Please, palihog, check. Wala ni concern? None? Oh, previous sa pre-proc. Wala ni siya concern? Okay. Sige, next.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. For the contract ID of 25LC0015, with the contract name of Kapalong Luna Elementary School, Kapalong Sampao Road, Kapalong Mamacao Road, connecting Tagum, Panabo, Circumferential Road, and Banana Industries, and Rubber Industries, Kapalong, Davao del Norte. With a brief description of construction of concrete road, with an ABC of 9,800,000. The source of fund is FY 2025 NEP CP, the contract duration of 98 calendar days. The net plot of this project is 518 linear meters, road concreting. Next po. And the scope of work of this project is road concreting with a total width of 6.7 meters. Shoulder width niya is 1.5 meters. Then thickness of pavement is 280 mm thick. Then application of reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings, installation of warning signs, and removal of trees and obstructions. Next po. And this is the location of the project. Na siya ay 39.7 kilometers from the DPWH. Next po. Then this is the location plan. As we can see, ang atuang beginning station is 2 plus 927. Nag-connect lang ta sa existing na road. Then end of project is 3 plus 445. Next po. And this is the typical roadway section. As we can see, 6.7 yung width, then 1.5 meters yung width sa yung shoulder. Then 28 mm thick ang ihang PCP. And this is the typical sa naay RCPC. Next po. And these are the JOTAG photos. Muna siya ang beginning sa itong project. And next po. That's all po. Thank you.
Okay, any other queries or question?
Wala.
Ano?
Okay lang po, sir.
Baksek, is there any concern from the previous procurement, from the pre-procurement? None? Okay. Okay, next. Yes, sir. DTI, sir.
Sir? 9 to 10 years niya. Wala pa, sir. Layo pa, sir.
Sir? Dili, sir. Gina-enroll na. Gina-appeal sa kwan, sir. Gina-enroll, sir. Oh, yes, sir. Wala pa siguro po, sir. Wala pa siguro. Ay, ambot, sir. Kaya ako aman nakaduha po ko ani sa una. Duha ka, nakapoy nakabuhat sa duha ani, bro. Ay, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, mga anak siguro, sir. 8. Oh.
Ni kuan ni
Mga anak gid siguro, sir. 9, 8. Mga 8 siguro ni.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. So for the project with contract ID 25LC 0019 NRJ Surigao Davao Coastal Road to Hijo, Cadastral, connecting Tagum City Overland Transport Terminal in support of business processing, outsourcing, coconut farm, and renewable energy industries Tagum City, Davao del Norte. So the brief description of this project is construction of concrete road with an ABC amount of 9,800,000. So this project is under FY 2025 NEP. So for the contract duration, we have 94 calendar days. So for this project, so we have a total of 346 linear meter PCCP for 2 lanes. Next. For the scope of works, we have concreting with super elevation at station 6+781 to 7+127. So the concrete width is 6.7. The thickness is 280. We have gravel shoulder, a width of 1.5 and a thickness of 150 mm. So we have also installation of RCPCs at cross drain with head wall on both ends. Construction of grouted slope protection at mangrove section, removal of various trees, installation of warning signs and traffic services, and application of reflectorized thermoplastic pavement marking. So for the location of this site, so continuous siya sa ato ang mga previous projects. So next. So for the typical, so again, the total width is 6.7, the thickness is 280 mm. So that is atypical for embankment and cut section. Next. So for this mangrove section, so we provided a grouted riprap slope protection at left side. Next. So these are the sample of the hazard markers with the bolts spot welded. Next. And the individual removal of trees schedule, we have 4. And equivalent number of seedlings is 100 each. Next. So these are the geotag photos of the project. Next. Okay, that's all for my presentation. Sa Hijo Lanikay, sir. Yes. Wala pa, sir. Layo pa. Sa Google Map daw. Katong vicinity map. Next. DTI, this is under DTI project.
Sa Mr. Chair, abali, sa part sa interview, ang Amerikano may na-interview dito sa beach, nga nisulting Amerikano na this is a private place. Ano ba? Pero the same ang sa city, according to city, naatay part nga cadastral, naapoy conditional deed of donation. Ang mo ko nga nakuan na nako tong sa entrance diha kay ni adto ko dito sa attorney nila legal nga dapat walay mo harang sa pag-inspection. So nituman man po sila, ipasabot nako, pero the same balik na po nga di ba? Murag private ang dating ba? Ano?
Angon siya, sir. Kuan, sir, kanang mag-workshop na every year. Oh. Before magpasa og RBP. Yes, sir. Ilagi nang gusto gina sa natural gyud siguro na siya sa ilaha sa DTI na murag mao ni lang ipang propose. Oh. Okay, sir. Mao ba ito akong gi-brought out sa una, sir, nga kani nga particular nga project murag kuan ba kay nasa private compound.
More than 2 kilometer pa ata, good sir. Or more, mga 2 to 4 kilometer para maabot yun siya sa national.
Pwede kong kapil dari kadali sa kuan. Ano po ni mo about sa kuan. Ano dari sa procurement kadali. O sa second floor conference. Sir. Mo to, sir, katong base daw sa katong na istorya nila tong attorney, legal daw sa kuan, sir. Diha nga naa daw donation.
Okay, nay conditional deed of sale si corporal akong istorya kay tamang mga dokumento sila. Pero nakasabot po si attorney kay go audit mo ni attorney niya maigo mi ba kay namong ko'y gate ID so tanggal niya tanan during kuan ni sabot mo po siya. Ano ba? During audit niya karon nana po siya. Ano ba? Ano po gradya sa atubangan?
Yes, sir.
Dili. PTR siya katong sa city. Sa city ang kwan. Putol-putol man. DOT. Yun na. Dito no? Sige, ilan na may DTI? Pero, itong ubang project, DOT itong ubang project siguro? Tourism. So, katong previous Putol-putol.
Beginning gud sa entrance gud niya sa gate. DOT gud to siya, sir. Ang katong sumpay na kani is dito na gid sa sulod. Sumpay na ato. Which is lahi na po to siya, DTI na to. Una ato is katong nasagol siya, kibali lahi siya application ba. Yes.
Nora. Naman na siya sa presentation. Naman na siya sa presentation. Kuan. Bali, gamay lang ni Bay. Observation lang, Mr. Chair. Kanin sa kuan yun sa number of days na come up, na discuss mo guna sa construction engineers meeting katong sa Bicol. Katong number of days, magsabot lang daw ang sitong nga yusik na dito. Ang kami, construction ng sa planning, basta mo justify lang po ang planning. Kaya namagoy DO ginapasihan nyo, di ba? Number of days. Pero namagoy mga kuan ana, kay siyempre ang number of days sa curing, mga localized thunderstorm na to, ano ba? So pwede, so weather, so pwede basta mo justify lang ang planning, pwede na to mapatasan. Kay isang po naka-concern dito sa meeting. So, ulo na advertise naman no. Next siguro nga maka-adjust sabot lang siguro kay ma-compute mo po sa length niya sa mode sa method. So ma-come up ta sa kuan sa justification. So pwede siya nga madungagan ang number of days. Ana. Thank you. Hindi ko kakuan kay sa Yusek nga nakalimot ko sa pangalan nga Yusek. Pero nasa sa na-appeal na siya discuss dito kay Mamacao. Nabutang dito sa minutes sa previous construction engineers meeting. Ma-justify po, magsabot lang ang construction of planning.
Sige, next.
So for contract ID number 25LC0020, Capungagan-Mabuhay-Pandulian leading to coconut, cacao, mechanical dryer, rice, packing house, Kapalong, Davao del Norte. Brief description niya is construction of road with an ABC of 9,800,000 under FY 2025 NEP with a contract duration of 90 calendar days. So ang next slide. So appropriation niya is 10 million and again ang contract duration niya is 90 calendar days. Scope of works, concreting of 345 linear meter road with 280 mm thick and width of 6.7. Additional works includes improvement of drainage structures, RCPC and line canal, installation of warning signs, chevron signs, and guardrails, application of thermoplastic reflectorized pavement markings. This project is just a continuation sa katong DTI. Last is 2022. Sa makita is kanang green mo na ang 2022 na DTI. And for this project, which is 2025, kanang red, 345 meters. Wala, sir. Nawala, sir. Yes, sir. Sige, again, mo ni ang gi-zoom lang tong project, which is this is 345 meters. Next slide, please. And typical section niya, is ano lang dyan siya, concreting lang siya nga 6.7 ang total width sa road with a 1.5 meter na shoulder. And na ay mga minor improvement sa drainage, dito na sa may sentro na part, ang mga cross drains lang gipang improve. Next slide is the geotag photos. Mao ni ang end sa katong 2022 na project, and mo continue lang ta padulong dito sa ano. Diri mag-end na part ang project previous. Dira lang mag-end na part ang project for 2025 sa unahan. And that's all for contract ID 25LC0020, sir. Ano man po, sir?
2 years na nawala. Wala yan po.
Evaluation.
So, sa right-of-way issue na,
Katong previous pa, sir, kay 2023 na naman po ni na ano na ingna na sila, pero again ang design po dito sa may kanira maguna portion na part is igo lang po jud sa dito
katong
sa
3 meters na shoulder.
gi-adjustan lang to, sir, katong dito sa may
Dito na sa kuwan.
igo lang jud tong ano, sir.
Okay.
Sige daw. Okay. See. First line.
Mato, clerical error lang, supposedly appropriation to. IBC akong nabutang 10 million.
Okay. Appropriation, 10 million, allocation to. Sa presentation lang, di ba? Okay. Any other question or additional information? Okay, proceed to the number 5, last project.
So for contract ID number 25LC0022, construction of road, Barangay Bingkungan to Barangay Kanukotan, Tagum City, Davao del Norte. Again, ang brief description niya is construction of concrete road with an ABC of 57,900,000 under FY 25 NEP with a contract duration of 243 calendar days. Ang scope of works are, next slide please. Concreting of 1,498 linear meter of road. Again, ang young width is 6.7 meters and thickness of 280 mm. Additional works include installation of warning signs, tapos mga slope protection such as coconut and grotted riprap for the right side and coconut sa left side. Then, lastly, ang application sa reflectores thermoplastic pavement markings. So, ang location ani is kaning dere sa dike. Kanang blue na part sa taas, sa upper part is na mao na ang na-concrete na, nagsumpay na siya sa ato ang bypass road. And then, kaning red is mao ni ang supposedly na ato ang project. Ang for 25LC0022. And ang remaining blue na part sa baba is mag-connect po siya sa National Road dito sa may Miranda Bridge 1. So, this is a typical section. Ang sa left side is ang grotted riprap, kay dito man ang Riboganon River na side. And the kaning coconut is diri nga side sa sulod. Mani ang pictures sa dike, sa alignment. Next. That's all for 25LC0022.
Question or information, and also Backsec, please check if there is other concern from the previous pre-procurement activity. None. Okay. Okay, we will proceed with the next agenda, the question and comments from the bidders. Huh? Okay, sorry. The requirements of the bidding documents.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. The requirements of bidding documents, this would include invitation to bid, instruction to bidders, eligibility requirements, eligibility data sheet, bid data sheet, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, specifications, drawings, bill of quantities, and forms. The bidding documents were posted in the DPWH and PhilJeps. Changes will be posted in the bid bulletin and notices. Documents to be submitted by the bidder, technical and financial proposals. Bids must be duly received by the BAC Secretariat at this office for manual submission or at electronic bids _ Davao del Norte at dpwh.gov.ph for electronic submission. Bidders should only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic. For electronic submission, prior to the deadline of submission of bids, the prospective bidder shall send an email attaching the copy of the official receipt of purchase of bidding documents in portable document file or PDF format. Only the electronic bids of bidders who have successfully submitted an electronic official receipt shall be accepted. Prospective bidders shall prepare their bids in 2 file folders, each for the technical and financial components. Only during the actual opening of bid shall the bidder disclose the password for his electronic bid. This can be done by the bidder's authorized representative verbally in person, through phone call, online platforms, or through writing. For joint venture, the format of PCAB ID to be used by the bidder in naming their files shall be the PCAB ID of the lead member. The step-by-step detailed procedure of electronic submission is stipulated in the bidding documents clause 22 and in the Department Order 87 series of 2020. Also included in the Department Order are the steps for the modification of an electronic bid, non-participation in the bidding, withdrawal of electronic bid, and proper email subject, and the final file name for each file to be submitted to the designated email address. For the technical proposal, the basic eligibility requirement during the submission of bid is the PhilJeps, as per GPPB Resolution Number 15-2021, dated October 14, 2021, and Department Memorandum dated December 17, 2021. Effective January 1, 2022, the BAC shall require the submission of the updated PhilJeps Certificate of Platinum Registration and Membership. As per revised IRR of RA 9184, Section 8-5-2, for the purpose of updating the Certificate of Registration and Membership, all Class A eligibility documents mentioned in this section supporting the veracity, authenticity, and validity of the certificate shall remain current and updated. The failure by the prospective bidder to update its certificate with the current and updated Class A eligibility documents shall result in the automatic suspension of the validity of its certificate until such time that all of the expired Class A eligibility document has been updated. Please be reminded that submission of updated Class A documents in its bid to support the expired PhilJeps Certificate of Platinum Registration and Membership is no longer acceptable. The legal documents, the valid pickup license and registration, statement of all ongoing and completed government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, statement of single largest completed contract similar to the contract to be bid, at least 50% of the ABC, net financial contracting capacity computation, and statement of total assets and liabilities, mayor's permit or business permit, tax clearance, audited financial statement duly received by the BIR at least 2 years from bidding date, latest income tax and business tax returns, SEC for corporation, DTI for sole proprietorship, and CDA for cooperatives. For a corporation, there should be a secretary's certificate board resolution duly notarized indicating the authorized and designated signing official. Joint venture agreement, if applicable, which requires special pickup license and registration with percentage of the two contractors. The bid security in prescribed form, amount, and validity period. The contractor can choose among the applicable forms of bid security which the duration is 120 calendar days as per RA 9184. The bidder shall submit a bid securing declaration or any form of bid security in an amount not less than the required percentage of the ABC in accordance with the following schedule. Cash or cashier's or manager's check issued by a universal or commercial bank, which is 2%. Bank draft or guarantee or a revocable letter of credit issued by a universal or commercial bank. Surety bond, bid securing declaration. Any discrepancy in the amount, even a centavo, means non-compliant. If the validity exceeds 120 calendar days, the contractor should renew and submit a new bid securing declaration, considering that all legal, technical, and financial documents should still be valid during the award. Project requirements. The bidder should attach the organizational chart for the contract to be bid, including the list of contractors' key personnel. See Clause 10-4 bid data sheet to be assigned to the contract. As per Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012, if a proposed key technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the time of the bidding, the bidder shall submit a certification that the personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract, and he or she will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of the implementing office. The bidder may propose a key technical personnel who is not its employee, provided that the said personnel is required to submit a certification that he or she will work for the bidder if it is awarded a contract under bidding. The said certification shall be included in the first envelope of the sealed bid. Pursuant to Department Order Number 148, Series of 2024, the full implementation and assigning only qualified and competent project engineers of the contractors and consultants in the implementation of DPWH project shall take effect immediately, whereby the said accredited project engineers are subject to the following limits of assignment. Provisional project engineer is limited to 10 contracts located within the same region for simultaneous assignments, but with an aggregate cost of 500 million. Project engineer 1 is limited to 10 contracts located within the same region for simultaneous assignments, each costing not more than 150 million, but with an aggregate cost of 1 billion. And project engineer 2 is limited to 10 contracts located within the same region for simultaneous assignments, but with an aggregate cost of 1.5 billion. It is further emphasized in the said issuance that all registered and licensed civil engineers of the contractors and consultants, including foreigners who are assigned as project engineers to DPWH implemented projects, may apply for accreditation and must pass the given accreditation examination. All government engineers are prohibited from applying for the accreditation while still employed by the government, including those the non-government, the SACs, the GOCCs, LJUs, GFIs, and other governmental organizations. The list of contractors' major construction and laboratory equipment units owned, leased, and/or under purchase agreements supported by proof of ownership, lease, purchase, and certification of availability of equipment from lessor or vendor for project duration. See Clause 10.5 BDS. As per Department Order 58 Series of 2012, all prospective bidders are mandated to state in their bid documents a complete technical description of their pledged equipment, whether owned or leased, such as but not limited to the engine number, year model, chassis number, plate number, production capacity, and load capacity. In addition, the prospective bidders should also be required to state in their bid documents the particular place or site where the equipment are located as provided for under Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012. If any piece of equipment is not in the location, then the bidder shall be post-disqualified. As per Department Order 58 Series of 2012, failure of a prospective bidder to comply with the said requirements shall result in the bidder's automatic post-disqualification for award of contract and forfeiture of its bid security. Certification of minimum laboratory equipment duly certified by any DPWH office as per Department Order 11, Series of 2017. Use the omnibus sworn statement in the form prescribed by GPPB as per Department Memorandum Circular Number 85, Series of 2020, and GPPB Resolution Number 16-2020-10 items. Affidavit of Site Inspection. For the financial proposal, bid form, bid prices in the bill of quantities, detailed estimates including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid. Quarterly, monthly cash flow and payment schedule. Failure to attach any requirement or any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient documents in the above-mentioned checklist is a ground for outright rejection of the bid and will fall as non-compliant. All documents to be submitted must be current and updated, otherwise it will be rated as failed. Bidder shall submit 2 original copies, 1 copy, 1 certified true copies of technical and financial components of the bid. The original copy of the bid shall be type of written in inked and limited to 2 decimal places in amount, and shall be signed by the duly authorized representative. The back and strict application of RA 9184 in the conduct of post-qualification of bidders under Department Order Number 127 dated August 16, 2018. The technical and financial proposal must be in A4 size. Further, the authorized liaison officer will be the one to drop the bids. Bids submitted through courier will not be accepted. The bidders are also advised to be responsible on their bids submitted in accordance with the checklist, and their technical and financial proposal should have proper tabbing in words, based on the order in the checklist, including proper sequencing of documents in chronological order. Further, bidders were advised not to recycle legal documents or documents attached in the previous submission of bids, which have the signatures and countersigns of the back members. With regards to the joint venture, whatever guidelines complied by the one bidder should also be complied by the other bidder. Bidders with lowest bid during the opening of bid is not a guarantee to be awarded for the contract. All bid documents are still subject to detailed bid evaluation and post-qualification prior to be declared as lowest calculated responsive bid and subsequently to be awarded for the contract. The bidders are given 3 days after the bidding to file for a motion for reconsideration.
Criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, deliberation recommending award and award. After determining the names of the bidders that submitted bids for the contract at hand, the BAC, assisted by its BAC Secretariat, shall check if its bidder that submitted bids is eligible to bid for the contract being procured. This shall be done electronically using the DPWH CWR. The BAC Secretariat shall enter into the CWR the pickup license number and or the name of the bidder. The DPWR program will then electronically process and match the bidder's capability or eligibility data in the CWR. The computer program will automatically determine if the bidder meets the following eligibility requirements. First, the cost of the bidder's SLCC is at least 50% of the ABC of the project to be procured. Second, the bidder's NFCC is at least equal to ABC of the project to be procured. The program will also automatically generate the results of the eligibility check. Use form DPWH INFR-29. The reasons for eligibility will also be automatically shown in the notice of eligibility. BAC will ascertain based on the checklist of the required documents to be submitted using pass or fail criterion during the preliminary and dated bid evaluation. In addition, after the opening of bids, as per 2016 revised implementing rules and regulations under Section 32.2, the BAC will conduct a dated bid evaluation of all the bids using non-discretionary criteria wherein it requires the completeness of the bid. The same will be applied to detailed checking evaluation of the technical proposal. Then the bidder rated as the lowest calculated bid will undergo post-qualification. Once post-qualified, the bidder will be determined as lowest calculated responsive bid and subsequently to be awarded for the contract. For the post-qualification, the bidders were advised to read Department Order Number 127, Series of 2018, and other issuances relative to this matter, since the BAC will be very keen and strict on the conduct of the post-qualification process. As per Department Order Number 127, the contractor will not be awarded with a certain project if it has a negative slippage of at least 15% in a single contract or that is 10% in 2 or more contracts. During post-qualification, even though the contractor is the lowest bidder, still it is subject for further verification to ensure the compliance of the requirements of the contract. With that, we will be sending you a letter being the lowest calculated bid. Moreover, the qualification and experience of the key technical personnel is subject for verification as part of the post-qualification process as per Department Order Number 127, Series of 2018. The BAC, with the assistance of the equipment verification team, will be strict on the compliance of the equipment as part of the post-qualification as per Department Order Number 127, Series of 2018. As part of the post-qualification, the equipment verification team will conduct an inspection on the verification of equipment pledged by the bidder, including other documents to be evaluated. For the balanced and unbalanced bids, during the evaluation of the bids, the BAC TWG shall take note on any unbalanced bids on early works and other items for unit price contracts. Unbalanced bids are defined as those where the total bid price for a major pay item is more than 50% of the corresponding cost of that pay item in the ABC. A major pay item is defined as that whose cost in the ABC is 20% or more of the total ABC. If there is no such pay item, then major pay items are defined as the 2 pay items in the ABC with the highest total cost. Unbalanced bids also include those with a minor pay item whose cost in the ABC is more than 5% of the total ABC and where the corresponding bid price for that pay item is more than 100% of that ABC for that item. For unbalanced bids, during the implementation of the contract works, the payment for this major and minor pay item shall be made initially at the unit prices in the ABC, and the remainder, contract unit price minus ABC unit price for the major pay item, shall be paid when the work under the major pay item is completed.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. There are 16 views, 3 concurrent viewers, and there is no comment, Mr. Chair.
For the agenda number 3, the other matters.
So this is to inform our bidders that these projects are undertaken through early procurement activities or the EPA. So here are the guidelines on the implementation of early procurement activities. EPA, as per revised IRR of RA 9184, Appendix 31. The guidelines on early procurement activities shall apply to departments, bureaus, offices, and agencies of the national government, including state universities and colleges, government-owned and controlled corporations, or GOCCs, government financial institutions, and local government units. This guideline shall cover all types of procurement for goods, infrastructure projects, and consulting services funded out of or by the General Appropriation Act, or GAA. The procurement entity, or PE, shall complete all the appropriate preparatory activities such as, but not limited to, cost-benefit analysis, feasibility studies, market research, and detailed engineering designs, regulatory clearances, and right-of-way acquisitions for civil works projects prior to the approval of the indicative APP. EPA shall refer to the conduct of procurement activities from posting of the procurement opportunity, if required, until recommendation of the Bids and Awards Committee to the HOPE as to the award of the contract for goods to be delivered, infrastructure projects to be implemented, and consulting services to be rendered in the following fiscal year, pending approval of their respective funding sources. The award of contract for procurement project undertaken through EPA may be made only upon approval and effectivity of their respective funding sources, to wit, GAA, to wit, the General Appropriation Act. The procuring entity may request the bidders to extend the validity of their bid securities beyond 120 calendar days prior to their expiration, if the funding source for the procurement project has yet to be approved and made effective. A change in the form of the bid security is allowed if this is made prior to the expiration of the bid validity sought to be extended. If the bidder refuses to extend the bid validity, the procuring entity shall reject the bid submitted by the said bidder. As soon as the funding source for the procurement project has been approved, regardless of the stage of the EPA, the indicative APP shall be revised and approved in accordance with Section 7-2 of the 2016 Revised IRR of RA 9184. Upon approval of the APP and the commencement of the running of the period to award the contract and complete the procurement process, the HOPE may approve or disapprove the recommendation of the BAC. In case of approval, the HOPE shall issue the notice of award to the lowest calculated responsive bid or highest rated responsive bid, as the case may be, and thereafter sign the contract. In case of disapproval, the HOPE shall notify the BAC and the bidder in writing of such decision and the grounds thereof, which shall be any of the grounds provided for under Section 41 of the 2016 Revised IRR of RA 9184. Notwithstanding the mandatory procurement timelines provided in Section 37 of RA number 9184, procurement projects undertaken through EPA may be awarded upon approval and effectivity of the GAA. If the amount authorized for a procurement project has been reduced, the procuring entity may still make an award if the contract price to be awarded is within the amount authorized in the GAA. The HOPE shall not award any procurement project if the amount therefore has been withdrawn or in the event the amount authorized in the GAA. In all instances, the HOPE has the authority to exercise the reservation clause under Section 41 of RA 9184, which grants the HOPE the right not to award the contract if, for any justifiable and reasonable ground, the award of the contract will not redound to the benefit of the government. Notwithstanding the approval and effectivity of the GAA, procuring entities shall not award contracts for procurement projects requiring special allotment release order or sub-allotment release order until the same has been issued, secured, or released. For the given scope of work in the contract as awarded, all bid prices shall be considered as fixed prices and therefore not subject to price adjustment and escalation during contract implementation, except under extraordinary circumstances and upon prior approval of the GPPB, or when a treaty or international or executive agreement expressly allows its pursuant to Section 4 or as stated in Rule 19 contract prices and warranties of the IRR. Validity of the eligibility requirements prior to award of contract is required. So we would like to remind also our bidders of the three-strike policy in the procurement of infrastructure, goods, and consulting services contracts. So pursuant to Department Order Number 28, Series of 2024, in order to establish a fair and transparent system for managing offenses committed by bidders in the procurement of infrastructure, goods, and consulting services project through public bidding, the Department of Public Works and Highways hereby introduces an updated three-strike policy. This is adhering to Section 69-1-I of the 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulations, or the IRR, of RA 9184. The classification of offenses that triggers the three-strike policy and exceptions. Number 1, withdrawal from the bidding process, submission of a non-participating letter or failure to submit a bid after purchasing the bid documents, submission of late bids without valid reasons and determined by the BAC, submission of patently insufficient bid. A patently insufficient bid refers to a bid that fails to include or comply with certain mandatory requirements. The determination of whether a bidder committed such an offense may occur as outlined below. A, during eligibility screening and or shortlisting. Submission of an expired certificate of Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System or PhilJEPS registration, platinum membership, or a certificate of PhilJEPS certificate containing expired Class A legal and financial documents as determined during the eligibility screening. Failure to include certificate of employment, contract agreement among permanent personnel and staff of the firm, and curriculum vitae in the application for eligibility and shortlisting, which are evaluated during the shortlisting for consulting services projects. During bid evaluation, failure to submit required bid forms as outlined in Annex C, detailing the complete list of required bid forms, submission of incomplete, insufficient, or defective documents due to the non-inclusion and or omission of mandatory provisions and statements for the required bid forms as per Annex C outlining the mandatory provision of required forms. Submission of an unauthorized bid securing declaration, an omnibus sworn statement, and joint venture agreement, or statements from all the potential joint venture partners, with the exception during the declaration of state of calamity or implementation of community quarantine or similar restrictions declared or being implemented either in the locality of the procuring entity or of the bidder. Submission of the bid form, price schedules, bid securing declaration, omnibus sworn statement, and joint venture without the name, legal capacity, and signature of the bidder or its authorized representative. Nomination of key personnel of a profession different from what is required by the bidding documents, or in the case of consulting services, proposing a key personnel whose educational background is different from that required by the terms of reference. Failure to submit proof of ownership, lease or purchase agreement of pledged equipment. Failure to submit the required certification of key personnel as per Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012. Or in the case of consulting services, failure to submit certification as required by the terms of reference. Failure to comply with the required minimum number of key personnel and equipment as stated in the bidding documents. During post-qualification, participation in bidding for consulting services or goods and services contract by a bidder whose business type category, as indicated on the mayor's permit, does not match or unrelated to the contract being bid for as determined during the post-qualification process. Participation in bidding for infrastructure projects by a bidder whose allowable range of contract costs, or ARCC, as indicated in the PCAB license, does not match with the specific requirements of the infrastructure project being bid for in terms of category, classifications, and size ranges. If a bidder commits any of the 3 major offenses or acts listed above 3 times within a year, starting from the approval date of the resolution recommending the imposition of strike 1 first warning, which is counted as day 1 through day 365, and if these 3 offenses are by similar or identical nature, it will trigger the enforcement of the stipulated administrative penalty, suspension from participating in all DPWH procurement activities and entering into contract with any DPWH procuring entity. Subsequently, as per the procedure outlined, this may result in the blacklisting of the suspended bidder, thereby disqualifying the bidder from participating in any government procurement activities for a period of 1 year. In conjunction with blacklisting, the bidder will also face bid security forfeiture and must comply with the enforcement of the bid securing declarations conditions. Also, the bidder is reminded that in compliance with Section 17 of Department of Labor and Employment, Department Order Number 13, the implementation of construction safety shall be considered in all stages of project procurement, design, estimate, and construction, and its cost shall be integrated to the overall project cost under pay item B-7-2, Occupational Safety and Health Program, as a lump sum amount to be quantified in the detailed estimate. Notices to participating bidders shall be in writing and will be sent through its PhilJEP's registered physical address or official email address. In case the notice for non-compliance and notice for post-disqualification is sent via email, it shall be considered as received by the bidder on the date and time the email was sent, whether or not the bidder acknowledged the said email. It shall be the participating bidder's responsibility to check his or her email for the purpose. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. And for the summary of the proceedings?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the summary of this proceeding, under invitation to bid 2025-001, we have 5 contract IDs. Number 1, 25LC0014, no changes. Number 2, 25LC0015, no changes. Number 3, 25LC0019, no changes. And number 4, 25LC0020, no changes. And number 5, 25LC0022. And now ready for the opening of bids on October 29, 2024 at 10 a.m. Reminder for the prospective bidders, contractors are not allowed to follow up their bids during evaluation period until the issuance of notice of award, unless the BAC in writings requests for clarification of its bids. The no contact rule will be strictly observed. Whatever is submitted during the dropping of bids will be evaluated. Submission of lacking or another document is not allowed. Closely check and monitor the DPWH website and PhilJEPs for information and guidance regarding the bid bulletin if there are amendments for the bidding documents of these projects and other notices, example, postponement and re-advertisement. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other matters for discussion? Okay, if none, any move for adjournment?
I move for the adjournment of these proceedings.
The adjournment has been moved and duly seconded. Therefore, this proceeding is now adjourned.